Wednesday, and welcome to Talk Radio with Dr. K, the place where talk is power. You are listening live to WOKB 1680 AM, and you might be able in just a few seconds to pop over to our Facebook Live page at WOKB 1680 AM. You can watch radio. I'm so excited about that. So just stay tuned. We will have it up momentarily. But welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. So glad to have you joining us as a new listener. And to those of you who have become the Talk Radio with Dr. K Facebook family or listening family, I'm so grateful for your presence. Thank you for coming back every week at 1 o'clock p.m. every Wednesday for Talk Radio with Dr. K. I am absolutely thrilled. So the countdown is on. You know, for the past few weeks, I've been talking about the I'm God's Girl for Real virtual conference, and we are in countdown mode. We are just a few days away. The conference is this Saturday. Yay, Glenn. Yes. So that applause is there. The conference is this Saturday, October 31st, and I am so thrilled. That it is finally here. And listen, you still have time to register. So if you have not grabbed your ticket for the 2020 I'm God's Girl for Real virtual conference, you still have an opportunity to join us. All you have to do is go to I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com to the website. Grab your ticket. You don't want to miss this. Our theme this year is free indeed. She who the Son sets free is free indeed. And I want you to recognize that this is going to be an opportunity for you to really think about your freedom from brokenness, freedom from bondage, freedom from things that has held you back, and the things that have kept you stuck. All of those kinds of things we are going to be dealing with so that you can walk away from the conference declaring that I truly am free, because she who the Son sets free is free indeed. And so I want you to join me. I want you to make sure that you are inviting others to join you on Saturday. So many of you, I think it's close to maybe 130 of us coming together so far for the conference, but you still have time. It's virtual, so you've got space to be there with us. And I would love nothing more than to have your presence with us. And so again, grab your ticket at I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com. That's I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com. We'll try to even get the link in the comments on the WOKB 1680 AM Facebook page. We are live there. So go ahead and pop over there if you want to watch radio today. I love technology, Glenn. Love technology.
It is so nice. It is really nice.
So I'm in the studio with Glenn Allgood, the Glenn Allgood. He is the engineer, producer extraordinaire that kind of really helps bring Talk Radio with Dr. K to life. And Brother Leon is the videographer. So there's all kinds of technology happening. Glenn's clapping. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of technology happening. There's video happening. There is Facebook Live happening. There is radio happening. You may even be listening from the TuneIn link or the app. So however you are connecting, we are so very grateful that you have joined us today. So we've got an amazing topic today and two great guests that will be joining us today. So I just want to kind of ask you, and those of you who are joining us on the Facebook Live page, thank you so much for joining. Hello, Ashley. So glad that you're here. Hello, Loretta. Hello, Evangelist Stinson. So glad that you're here. God bless you. She said, God bless you, Dr. K. I'm free. She's already claiming it. Absolutely. Tamika Lovick, hello. I'm so glad that you'll be joining us at the conference. So grateful that you'll be here. So we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is very important because I have the awesome opportunity, Glenn, to coach women on a professional side, on the ministry side. I have an opportunity to coach women. And here's what I recognize. Glenn, I talk to men too. So I saw that smirk on your face.
Right.
I could read that smirk on your
Go
face.
across the aisle.
I realize.
We need help too.
Okay. I realize what just happened because I saw that smirk on your face. But here is where I was going with that, because I have the opportunity to talk so much with women. I also have an opportunity to hear them talk about their God assignment and what they believe that God has placed on the inside of them. And oftentimes, many of them talk about this sense of having a book on the inside of them. I've even had ladies say, I believe I've got books on the inside of me, right? And so because of the pusher I am, if you've got it on the inside of you and it's supposed to come out, then why are you still walking around with it on the inside of you? And if not now, then when? You know, I truly, let me not get in front of God's timing for your life, but by the time you know it's there, it's probably time for you to start doing something with what you know is there. And so I thought I would invite two amazing, wonderful, dynamic, you want me to sing my part, Glenn? Marvelous. Women to come and join me today. They are authors, just dynamic, phenomenal women. And so they're going to come and talk about their books and how they literally gave birth to the books that were on the inside of them. And so if that is you, if you are an aspiring author, I want you to really listen in. Or if you know someone who is an aspiring author, I want you to share the live with them and have them jump on. Hi, Sissy. My sister's here. She said, hi, sister. So happy that you're joining us. Hi, Krishna. So glad that you're here. Bishop Derek W. Hutchins is watching. I was waiting for him to jump on so that I could shout out our sponsors. The New Life Church of God in Christ brings talk radio with Dr. K to the airways every week. And I'm so grateful for their sponsorship and so grateful for our bishop's support of this ministry. Thank you so much, babe. Hi. So many of you joined us and talked last week about Bishop being present with me. So Bishop doesn't know this yet, but every third Wednesday, I'm making the public announcement. Every third Wednesday in every month, we will be doing Chatting with the Bishop. Can I have some applause, Glenn? Yeah, because the ratings were so high. How can we not, right? So every third Wednesday in every month, we'll be chatting with the bishop. So please mark your calendars. Now, I know that I will pay for this after we are off the air, but since I have the microphone right now.
You're just like my mom. She used to volunteer us for everything.
Did I just volunteer him for everything?
Sorry, the bishop is bad.
Oh,
you see the dynamic he brings?
Listen, wasn't it amazing?
Do you see it?
So give me some hearts if you were listening last week, because Bishop is watching. So if you were listening last week and you enjoyed chatting with the bishop, send up some hearts right now. Hey, Glenn, Bishop just posted 3 question marks and said, babe. And guess what? I can hear his voice. That's the thing. I can hear his voice. But Bishop, you've got all of these hearts popping up. People want to hear us chatting with the bishop. So every third Wednesday in every month, mark your calendar, is going to be chatting with the bishop.
I can't believe you doubled down.
He did come back and
I can't believe you doubled down.
Did I double down? What did I do?
You just said it again.
Did I say it again? You know why I kind of felt myself saying it again? Because he just posted "Love you, babe." So that means it's okay. So he'll be here every third Wednesday in every month for chatting with the bishop. See, you hear all of this applause. It's amazing. All right. So we are going to be talking about the book in you today. So if you want to be an author, you know that you're walking around with the book on the inside of you, that God has deposited so much on the inside of you, and that it is time for you to get it out. I really want you to stay tuned and stay connected to what we're going to be talking about today. Carolyn Copeland, thank you so much. Carolyn Copeland Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into our first guest, and she is no stranger to talk radio with Dr. K. She's been here with me before, but she just wrote a new book. And so I wanted her to come back and talk about her newest book, and she is all the way from Virginia, joining me today, Lady Charlotte Lewis. Lady Lewis, are you here?
I am here. Hello. I am super excited.
So excited to have you join me on Talk Radio with Dr. K all the time. I think, is this your second or third time?
Yes, ma'am. This is the second time.
The second time. And I am so grateful to have you back. And so listen, you were probably one of those guests where our time ran out, and I probably said to you, that's okay, I'm going to have you come back. Did that happen?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes,
so
ma'am.
then, ta-da!
Sure did.
So here you are. I'm so glad that you are back, but you are back with something new. So before we get to what you've actually given birth to, I want to talk about this whole topic as it relates to the book in you, because contrary to popular belief, you didn't just wake up like this and decided to pop out a book, right? There was something, I am certain, that was brewing, turning, stirring on the inside of you. So talk us all the way back to the genesis of when you knew you were supposed to even write your first book, not your new release or the second book, but when you knew that you were supposed to write your first book. Talk to us a little bit about kind of that inside feeling of what was happening on the inside of you.
Wow. This is such a great topic, because I believe that there's so many of us who are walking around with books and testimonies and things that could certainly help other people and help set free other people in their journeys. But my journey, the way that it looked was, before I truly believed that there was something inside of me or a book inside of me that would help others, it was other people who had said to me over the years, man, your story, you should write a book.
Okay, and I want to pause you right there. Because I want to check in with those who are viewing us. If you've heard that, if you have heard that, when people are familiar with your story and they have literally said to you, you should write a book, I want you to drop in the comments, that's me. That's me. And listen, this is Las Vegas. Y'all know how we do. What happens here stays here, kinda. So this is your safe space. But if that's you, drop in the comments, that's me. If people have said to you, you really should write a book, simply because they've heard your testimony, or they've heard you share your story, or they walked with you on some portion of your journey, or they know what you've been through and what God has brought you back through. They've watched you be resilient. They've watched you be an overcomer. They've watched you come back from death and from hell and the grave, right? And they've said that you should write your story. So if that's you, I want you to say that's me. So other people started saying that to you, Lady Charlotte. So what happened?
So what happened, I got to a point in my life where I was, let's just say, kind of down and out, where I realized that I needed to get some help outside of just prayer, outside of just begging God, outside of all of those things. And I started going to therapy, which I believe everyone should.
Okay, so pause again. So sorry for interrupting you, but listen, y'all know every week that I talk about these T-shirts that I have in my head, right? And how I come, these ideas based on our conversations with our guests just kind of come to me, and I think about these phrases being on a T-shirt. And you all have also heard me on many occasions talk about the Jesus plus therapy T-shirt, right? You've heard me mention that. Okay, Lady Charlotte Lewis is the person that has the Jesus plus therapy T-shirt. And so she's going to tell you how to order that T-shirt at the end. So hang on, because I want you all to have a Jesus plus therapy T-shirt, and she's going to tell you how to get that. Okay, I had to get that plug in it because I talk so much about your Jesus plus therapy T-shirt. So go right ahead, Lady Charlotte.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. So, so I started doing what I call doing the work. I started changing from the inside out and, dealing with my home of origin issues, all of the trauma and drama that I went through in my life. And once I started coming out of it, once I started realizing that, you know what, I am healing. I am better. I am better than I was. Where I started feeling comfortable, you know what, maybe I can share my story now, because now it's not that I'm just sharing my story, here's what happened, but now I have a but God moment.
Yes.
Meaning I went through all of this, but my story now, I feel at this point will help set someone else free. Because if I did this work, and let me tell you, it is not an easy journey.
Yes.
But once I started going through the journey, I realized if I can do it and I can change and I can feel good about who God created me to be, then I need to share this with the world, because so many women are stuck in their past or their trauma of what they've gone through that they can't go to the next level, and they can't really walk in their calling because they're constantly being pulled back by their past and the lies that the enemy over these years have convinced them that they can't do something.
Coming up next is another author, dear sweet friend of mine, who has just released her first book, baby. And I'm so excited to be able to have her joining me today to share with us about her process on the way to giving birth to her book, baby. And that is my friend, Tracy Green Washington. Welcome to Talk Radio with Dr. K, Tracy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here with you.
I'm so grateful that you're here. And I am not even going to ask where in the world are you, because you are all over the world. But tell our listeners just a little bit about who you are, and we'll jump right into talking about your process to giving birth to this amazing new publication you have. So just share with our listeners a little bit about Tracy.
Thank you. So, Tracy Green Washington, and I get to ask that question. I always have to start with where I'm from.
Yes.
So I'm a native of Asheville, North Carolina, and that's important because your roots are important.
That's right.
The important part of who you are and who you come to be. Mm-hmm. And more so than that, I am a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a friend. And I think on the professional side, if I would introduce myself, I was the president of Indigo Innovation Group, which is a consulting firm that's really committed to driving, being a partner with nonprofit, philanthropic, and various sectors in driving social change.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Tracy, to be honest, and I'll let the listeners in on this, we could have had a whole hour of talking about who Tracy Green Washington is because she is a rock star. And Tracy, I know that eventually our time together is going to run out, but I'm definitely already having you come back. So just so you know, but I just want you to talk a little bit about the book that was on the inside of you, just kind of when you knew it, how you knew it was there, and what you ultimately did about it.
Yes, thank you for that. What I will say is that I didn't know it was a book that was inside of me. Mm-hmm. I was having this amazing experience and journey of really thinking about what purposeful alignment meant for me, and really wrestling with the tension between where I currently was and where I desired to be. Mm-hmm. And individuals watching that journey and beginning to drop notes and nuggets in the chat or in the in emails to me about the journey that they were witnessing me on and how beautiful it was. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I was just in the middle of my transformational process. I didn't really think that it was something that would have value or that others were watching or could impart some wisdom or guidance to support individuals along their journey. But as a result of really listening to and noticing what people were saying, and people asking me how I was doing it, what was I learning along the journey, it really created this unique opportunity to put it in a book. Mm-hmm. And I have to just, in all transparency, I was just going to do a webinar series, and I had a colleague and mentee of mine that said, I really think you should put this down on paper because it is impactful to us that are watching the journey. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that you understand how impactful it is and how transparent and authentic you're being along the way, and how it could be supportive to many people as a tool to move forward.
That is so good. And it goes back to something that Lady Charlotte Lewis said in the beginning, that she became aware of the book in her because other people saw it before she did. And they started to say, you should tell your story. We are watching. And so we want to have more. And I know that just because I know a bit of that journey, I know that it's been such an amazing journey for you. And I love that you have stepped into this really brave place and this courageous place to be able to capture all of what that journey has been and lead us on our own journey to purposeful alignment. So talk a little bit about how you got there, and then share with us a little bit about this whole notion of purposeful alignment.
Yeah, and so I have to start at the beginning. So when I think about purposeful alignment, it is your unique calling, your unique role in facilitating transformational change, and really knowing with clarity in spaces, places, institutions, and relationships what that is. Mm-hmm. And making the choice, this is the important part, making the choice to activate that in a strategic way so you support impact, that you're activating your gifts, that you're activating your voice in service to something that's bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. And for me, because of that tension with wanting to be clear about my purpose and align it, it really was the impetus for this journey that I really started as a faith walk.
Yes.
And it started, just to be purposely honest, from a question that emerged while I was sitting in church and having the pastor do a series around game changers, and really being clear that being a game changer is someone that is willing to embark on this space, on this faith walk, in the moment where they don't know what it can reveal. Of knowing in a non-negotiable way that you have to activate all your resources in service to having impact and transformational change, and willing to anchor everything that you know in your values and align that in service to making the world and places and spaces that you share a better place.
Yes. Listen, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're facing, or whatever is facing you, I want you to remember one thing, and that is to simply speak life. I'll see you next week. I'm growing, yeah.